what I think strikes me about what I learned from Lauren, as we try to learn about each child we take care of, and that is, I have to know what her cues are and what her language is, and anticipate. And I think that's, I mean, Lauren raised the standards for all 7, 8-year olds, 9-year olds. Once we got to know her, we could anticipate and help the nursing staff, help the other providers, like in the language they would use with Lauren, or the certain words that we knew that were triggering for her. One word that stands out to me is procedure or surgeries. Lauren was always worried that an X-ray or a CT scan would then translate into needing another surgery. Am I remembering that right,
Yeah,
Amy?
actually, at the start, right, she was well, she couldn't discern in the hospital who was coming in and out. Like she couldn't tell
Yeah,
housekeeping from the
yeah,
surgical team. She thought that there were going to be surprise surgeries. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
she thought every procedure would lead to another one, and that we weren't telling her. Yeah.
So that was the first kind of level of language we had to use and learn to use with Lauren. And that is, we would always have to reassure her and kind of frame every new piece of information, every proposed test, like, this means that, we don't, we're not going to have a surprise surgery. That does, you're always going to know what's coming next in terms of a surgery or a procedure. Um, and even the simplest blood draw, we would have to sit, we would often have to, like, always remind her of that.
And,
So
and
that,
Erin, you did that like pardon me, you always explained it, and that's what she needed, right? She needed to know, what is this for, and what is this going to
mm,
do, and what is the next step? Like, Lauren wants to know who's on the boat with her, and every detail. What's the boat made out of? How old is the
yeah,
boat? And
yeah,
like, she needs to know every detail, and you really honored that for her, letting her. You gave her that detail, which she really needed. And the other, I felt like sometimes the oncology team was like, oh, she's 7. She's not going to get it. She was getting it.
oh, she got it, yeah. And I'll say it again, I mean, Lauren raised the bar, um, for her age group. Um, I came to treat Lauren like she was a adolescent, um, because she was always thinking 3 steps ahead of us. And I had to always have that in mind when I was proposing something to her or explaining something to her. Um, and so that, made me raise my game, because, I'm not used to doing that for a 7-year-old. But again, it's finding out who that child is from the inside out, and, their past, their present, and then how they're looking at their future. And I think learning what brings them joy and learning what brings them comfort also is so hugely important. And with Lauren, even more so. So being able to talk to her and relate to her about the important things in her life. Um, I happen to share a love of hockey, and that just, you know, immediately, I think, endeared me to her. But, I think we could have found any number of things that we could have, partnered about. But that also contributes to, even if I hadn't, just wanting to know about those things about her, I think helps a child trust, that you're really actually interested in what their life is all about.